One of the biggest issues that I have suffered through doing Warhammer miniatures is believing every tutorial that I've seen online. And now, before you kill me, I know there's a lot of good people out there that do genuine tutorials, and I will say that there is a bunch of them that do like literally hour-long videos of going through the whole process. There is also an equal amount that do a lot of videos and don't show you how to do things at all. And this is what I call the lie of Warhammer, which is being deceived by people's miniatures and advice, and this is something that is commonly happening. You may not see it often, but as someone that started myself, I have seen so much of it, and I have only just realized it only doing it in a couple of months in. As it's just hit February, I have been 3 months in this hobby now, which is still a short amount of time compared to a lot of people that have done this hobby. And what I mean by the lies that beginners believe with improvement is literally that the advice they receive. Put it like this, right? You open up Google, let's say for example you go, how to paint an ultramarine, right? You get to the tutorials and basically you watch one and you watch a guy do some advice on it, and then he just basically details the whole miniature, and then you're questioning your life going, how the hell do I do all that? What paints do I need? Then you're also asking, why does the base coat look so smooth? And then you're also asking how the hell they get all the highlights done well, and like basically you're not given any good advice about it. You're just told a couple of things and that's it. Or you come onto Instagram, and believe it or not, I think Instagram is really good, but it also has a lot of deceiving in it. You come across and look at miniatures that have been painted and they look brilliant. You've also come across pictures of like miniatures that look absolutely, like, I mean, some look amazing. They've got volumetric highlights. I don't know how to say that word, that's just bad, I better go back to school. Then you see other things, like you see, like one of the probably the most things I've seen is the smooth base coating, and people go, how is it so smooth? And one thing that's only coming to eyes right now, I reckon, is AI stuff. I am going to make another video of that next time, but be wary of AI content. That is another thing as well. Now, what is the point of me all saying this? What I'm trying to say to you as a beginner is don't take all the advice you see. Warhammer is about being creative, and being creative is a great idea. You can experiment, you can break things realistically, you can do things, you can mess it up, you can retry. The whole point is to literally try it yourself. I watched tutorials for the first month and there was a lot that I enjoyed. But generally, I feel like the best way I learned was actually talking to people that are sort of like the same beginners as me, and also not to mention just trying things out yourself. I feel like with Warhammer, you always got to try things out yourself. You can't always look at a video. Let me show some examples, okay? Have you seen this kind of quality before? You look at that base coat and it looks like there's not even a hint of paint that's been like even bulked up or anything. It looks smooth. Well, my friends, all I'm going to say to you is either two things. One, that guy is Pablo Picasso of painting and can basically been doing it for 20 years and can paint really well with a brush. Or the main common one is an airbrush. Airbrush is very popular in painting and they create the smooth base coats. If you look up airbrushing paint, there'll be a bunch of stuff on it. You're all asking on how to improve, but you're watching YouTubers that basically have been doing this forever and have all the good equipment. You need to watch people that have genuine advice, and this is crazy, that have hour-long videos. I'll drop some recommendations in the description as well, but there is genuinely people like myself that have been confused on how the hell they do all the small details. And you know what's funny? One of the most popular methods in Warhammer is called the heavy metal style, which is the like on the packets of Warhammer stuff. Right? The craziest thing is there is one guy that does a whole tutorial for hours on how to make the mini like an heavy metal style, and it gets funny because he literally says that don't be deceived that you got to buy good brushes as well. And this is crazy because I've brought so many brushes, man, I want to die. Okay, I've brought so many brushes. This guy is painting an heavy metal style with like a $15 brush, right? And he's doing an amazing job. And the point of me all saying this is where people get deceived, is you need to have the best equipment. You don't have to have the best equipment for this hobby. You can work with small things. I've seen people create things with just basically the smallest stuff in the world, maybe even the worst stuff. My partner is a painter and she can create great stuff, and she's been doing it for years and she doesn't have all the great stuff. And this is where the deceiving starts in YouTube in general, or content for Warhammer in general. There's a lot out there that's great, but you click on a lot of videos and you're watching people give you advice and make something up, and and then they can't show you really well what to do. You don't have to be guided like a baby, but I feel like if you're trying to learn how to go by a process of painting, you should have longer tutorials. And this is where the unmotivation comes in, which will kill a lot of beginner painters because they can't paint exactly like how the person's showing them. They show 2 or 3 things of like one part of the painting process, and then they get confused. So one, for example, was recess shading. I had no idea what recess shading was, other than that you paint into the little areas anywhere with like you know, even I still don't know how to explain it now, like into the helmet stuff, things of areas that have got like a close panel or like stuff like that. See how terrible I am explaining it? Yeah, well, I'm going to jump off a cliff. Anyways, my point is about that. With recess shading, I had no idea. Now I know where to go and all that and how to do it, but they would show like a little bit and then they showed the complete miniature afterwards of that area, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. But you as a beginner need to learn to be creative in many ways. And look, I feel like that's the main point of this video. It sounds a bit about rambling, but it genuinely frustrates me to see people unmotivated because they can't reach to the levels of what other people have done. If you're a fan of tech or anything, and like myself, I've done coding before, right? To get good at coding, you have to experiment. You have to learn to just create things. It doesn't have to make sense. This exact same thing applies to Warhammer. You need to learn to just be creative as much as possible. Just try things out. Just try to even, you can make the miniature as messy as possible. One thing that I've seen people do is with their spare parts on like their packets, they paint over the faces and just to keep trying. You've got to learn to be creative and not rely on other people. Otherwise known as tutorial hell, which is a lot of things that have that as well. It will keep you unmotivated, and I don't want painters to feel unmotivated. This is why I've made the videos about genuine advice, because everyone does the insane editing, everyone cuts parts, everyone cuts all the boring bits out. I just want to keep it real with you guys. But yeah, I think you get my point in that sense. Try your best for creativity. I honestly want you, after this video, if you're very new, to go try and just build a miniature from your own colors, from everything that you have and all the paints that you might have. You don't have to have all the crazy stuff. Give it a shot. Try not to believe everything that you see online, especially with painting. You're going to see heaps of people that have been doing it for years on end, and I feel like it's very important to not take in every advice that you hear. I learned that like I have heaps of DMs of advice, and while I'm grateful for everyone that gives me advice, it can't always help. For you to just simply do something that they advise you, it's not easy, especially as a new painter. You got to understand how frustrating it is. Someone says, oh, you should edge highlight this, or you should blend this, you should dry brush this, and you do it and then you mess it up. It's because you can't do it instantly in a day, and the feeling of improving becomes harder and you lose more motivation. I know I've said these points 100 times, but it's got to be very made clear. And it's just frustrating because I feel like some people don't understand that to never do arts and craft and to sort of just start doing get advice, I can't do things straight away, and you may feel the same. It takes so much time to even learn one thing. Like it took me probably about 2 months to even decently get good at edge highlighting. And now I've started doing blending. That takes the same amount of time as well. Like learning all this is like just getting advice does not help in general all the time. You trying it is going to be more productive than someone telling you how to do it or what you should do. And that's another thing, is just be careful of listening to people and don't listen to everything they say. Where some people can be just negative, some just like want to keep comparing theirs to yours. Genuinely, you're going to get the best results out of just consistently painting. Even if it's 15 minutes a day, you're going to find some type of improvement with painting in general. And this is where the lie comes in, is people make you think you got to be great literally in 2 weeks, or you're going to become the best painter in a week. Or you know how you see someone that's like all the hype in the video, it's like top 10 best ways to do this and all that kind of stuff. That's what I mean, is you don't want that kind of stuff. You want to go at your own pace where you get to paint and you get to learn, and then eventually it will start getting better. But by common sense, that is genuinely how it should be. I only spent the first month looking up the paints I needed to learn about like what the basics of painting were, especially the colors. I really wanted to know how to paint ultramarines properly. But yeah, I wanted to learn the heavy metal style as well, and I am, but I think doing it at my own pace and trying it myself and learning where to highlight myself it's done way more progress. I've literally just finished up my jump pack assault intercessor now. I need to go back to high school and learn English once again. But But in seriousness, this guy has looked amazing, and if you were to look at all my paints ages ago, which I've shown before, the consistency really is shown. You will see over time and time again that your paints will improve. You may not see it straight away, you may not see it until 2 months from now, but if you just keep practicing, you won't have to listen to advice, you won't need to go to tutorials. You might have friends that genuinely help you, but if you genuinely keep consistent, you will notice a big difference in time. It's like anything. You got to think of it like gym, you got to think of it like doing a different hobby, getting good at the sport. It's all the same thing, it's just consistency is key. Now you get my point, guys. I think I've rambled enough, I think I've said a bit of different points here and there, but it all sums back up to one thing. Just don't believe everything you see online, don't feel like you got to match up to these guys that have been doing it for ages, don't believe every single thing they say, and take your time. I feel like you guys get what I'm saying, so I'll leave it there. Thank you all for watching once again. I am excited for the next video though, which is going to be about AI and the fact that it's starting to head into Warhammer painting and how to look out for it.